Now, back to Miller on Sports, the show that puts pro in sports. Everything else is just talk. Brought to you by the law offices of Ron Sholes.
Good morning. On behalf of the Jacksonville Giants, sponsors, fans, players, head coach Kevin Waters, owner Ron Sholes, vice president Joe Miller, welcome this morning. Year 2 of the Jacksonville Giants. Let's get this started for you. Owner Ron Sholes of the Jacksonville Giants.
Thanks, Christian. We're looking forward to having you on board. I think it's going to be a great year this year. And I know we've got a lot better turnout for our media press day than we did last year. And I hope it's not just the free lunch at City Hall Pub, but hopefully everybody's here for the right reason. I think y'all are. A lot of potential in Jacksonville. We heard Mayor Alvin Brown in his inaugural address and several other times talk about Jacksonville becoming an NBA city. You heard those words from me last year in October when we brought the team here, and Coach Waters. And Coach Waters and I, when we got together, we had that vision, and we talked about bringing basketball to Jacksonville, and the goal was let's bring it bigger than it had ever been here before. Let's do it right. Let's do it in the arena, TV, radio, all that stuff, and let's put a championship team together on the court and off the court. So where do I begin? At the beginning of last season, we announced 3 primary points. The first thing was let's do it differently. And like I said, a TV deal, radio deal, games in the arena, being winners on the court, competing at a high level. Some of you that were here last year, I see some of you out there, I said Coach Waters was going to put a fast-paced, run-and-gun style team, excellent defense, and compete for a championship. And he told you no pressure, and he delivered. And we were going to be winners off the court, I said, and that was really the key to our success, is the community of Jacksonville knowing that we're here, we're going to do it right, and we're here to stay. Nonetheless, regardless of what we said last year at the press conference, we had a lot of naysayers. Basketball won't work in Jacksonville. I recall seeing an article in Folio Weekly. I don't know if we've got anybody from Folio Weekly out here, but the article was basically that we'll be lucky if we see hundreds and not thousands in the seats. A lot of naysayers, and I understand that. A lot of you understand that. But we had to bring basketball in a big way, and that's what we did. But Jacksonville is a sports town. It's a baseball town, a football town, a basketball town. We know that. I know it as the owner of the City Hall Pub, being down here for the NCAA tournament, talking to the fans. The majority of the fans were just Jacksonville basketball fans. They weren't here to see Wisconsin or UCLA or whoever was in that tournament, but they just wanted to see some basketball, and they wanted to see basketball at a high competitive level. Orlando, or was it Miami? Miami, I think, played the Atlanta Hawks in 09 here. Nearly 9,000 fans attended that game. Same thing. I talked to a lot of those fans. They were Orlando fans, but it was Miami in town. They just wanted to see some basketball and wanted to see it at a competitive high level. So for all those that said we couldn't do it, I'm here to tell you we did it. And our average attendance last year was in the thousands, not in the hundreds. Our final Saturday game seen 4,000 fans come out to watch the Giants. Only one time did we have less than 1,000. Only one game did we have less than 1,000, and that was Super Bowl Sunday. We were kind of tied into the TV schedule and the arena availability. The arena had a tight schedule last year. They worked with us great, and we ended up playing a 1 o'clock game on Super Bowl Sunday, and we had just at 1,000 folks in that game. The Giants are back. We're here for season 2. It's going to be bigger. It's going to be better. We're going to double our attendance this year. That's our promise to Jacksonville. And we're going to prove that we're here to stay and that Jacksonville can be an NBA city. At the end of this year, you're not going to have folks out there saying Jacksonville couldn't support a professional basketball team, I promise you. On December 3rd, we're going to get the season started in a big way. We're going to make Jacksonville history. We're going to pack the house here in the arena, more fans than ever before to see a Jacksonville pro basketball team play. That's our objective, and I promise you we're going to deliver it. We're going to bring in the Gulf Coast Flash. We didn't run from the competition last year. If you recall, the first game was against supposed to be the number 3 ranked team in the country. We beat them by about 60 points. This year we're bringing in the team for the first game that ended our season last year by 2 points. Gulf Coast, Mississippi's been in the league several years. They've got a great team, great coaching staff, and we're going to give them a big Jacksonville welcome, and hopefully we'll take them out by 30, 40 plus points. And we're going to do a home and home, as they call it, with them. We'll be going out to Gulf Coast and playing them on their home court as well this year. Just like last year, we'll have a lot of divisional games and games outside the division. We've got the arena deal, the TV deal with CW17. Glad to have Mark Hefner here. He'll speak to you here briefly in a few minutes. 1010XL is our radio partner again this year. Ken Brady speak just for a minute. We're glad to be able to put the games on TV and the radio so the fans that can't make it for whatever reason still have an opportunity to catch the game. I grew up in Northern Illinois, a big Milwaukee Bucks fan, and I used to listen to the basketball games on the radio. And I've had several fans tell me, hey, I was driving back to Jacksonville or I was at work, got to catch the game on the radio. That's important. We're putting it out there so everybody can hear the game, see the game, hopefully come down to the arena this year and check us out live, because it's quite a show. You don't see Mr. Biggs. I don't see there's Mr. Biggs. You don't see Mr. Biggs as much on TV as you do in the arena, and he's been a big difference maker for us as well. But we put on quite a show in the arena. I've had fans say I've been to Magic games and it's comparable to an NBA game, and that's truly what we're striving to do here, is put on the best game day experience we can for all the fans from ages 2 and 3 up, and we've got a young following as well, from preschoolers to elementary school and all the way up. So how did we do it last year? We did things differently than before. I've touched on some of that. Additionally, we played nationally. We had a West Coast road trip out in Monterey, Sacramento, San Francisco. Played in the Final Four in Texas. The Giants even went to China last year. We've got national and international exposure for the city. I recall seeing a national article when we hosted the ABA All-Star Game that quoted several things that we put in our package to bring that game here to Jacksonville, including the town center, the 1 million plus square feet of shopping space, the Jacksonville Landing. That was an article that went out to 60-some ABA teams, not only in the United States, but also Canada, China, Philippines, Japan. It adds to the whole thing and puts Jacksonville on a basketball map. That's our intention. We'll have the city's support. As you know, Mayor Alvin Brown wants the NBA in Jacksonville, so that's going to help us a lot. But we need more support, of course. We were consistent in what we did, and we were very active in the community. Clearly, the Giants were winners on the court, 23-0. As I spoke, the Final Four in Texas, the China adventure that many of us made last year in the China exhibition series in Hunan. Hosting the ABA All-Star Game, first time Jacksonville's ever had a national All-Star Game, and we're actually talking to the league about possibly doing it again. They were so pleased with how it went down, and hopefully we can do that again this year. The team set several records. Antonio Lawrence here, he's the first player ever in pro basketball history to hit a shot that took a team over 200 points. You can research, we had I don't know how many people across the country researching to tell us whether the Giants were the highest scoring team in history in that game, and I think we scored 206 points. When Antonio, I think, hit that three-pointer. We call him Mr. 200. So we're in the record books. And we did it twice. The highest scoring team in professional basketball history. You can look at the record books, you won't find a team that scored more points than this team. And I can assure you, every team out there that's playing this game, whether it's ABA, NBA, CBA, PBA, every team out there is trying to do what we did last year. And no one did it except for us, and we did it our first season. I think the most important aspect of our first season was our off-the-court efforts. And if we could just have a round of applause for the players, coaches, and staff that did a wonderful job. The players, coaches, and staff spread positive words to our youth about the importance of reading, how bullies were cowards, how they should stay in school and listen to their teachers, and much more. They visited 70 schools last year in and around Duval County. They attended numerous charity events and even created some of their own. This started in the preseason just a week after we named the team the Giants, with the Giant Thanksgiving Feast. I remember telling Coach Waters, you know, we'll probably need a couple players, maybe a couple coaches to do this Thanksgiving feast for the homeless and the needy at the City Hall Pub. I remember Chef Stewart over there cooking 12 turkeys and a half dozen hams. And we called all over town seeing who needed help. Clara White Missions, the homeless center behind us, Salvation Army, they all said, hey, we've got overflow, we need to send you some folks that need help, need a good dinner. We ended up having 100% participation with our coaches and players. I definitely didn't expect that, but it was a great turnout and a great event, and we gave back to the community. And then we did it again with our Giant Thanksgiving Day Blessing, we called it. Again, feeding the homeless and needy, and it was the Jacksonville Giants there serving. 100% participation with our coaches and our players. And we served over 100 people on Thanksgiving and Christmas Day. And we're going to do it again this year, and we're going to do it even bigger. At the conclusion of last year, the Giants were honored to receive an award by the State Education Commissioner. 3 businesses in each county in the state of Florida are awarded the Business Partner Recognition Award, and the Jacksonville Giants were the team to get that award. And I want to thank Coach Kevin Waters for making that happen. And they deserved it. The players, coaches, and staff went out and did a great job. So what are we going to do next year? We're going to do all this and a lot more. We're going to keep building our dream of making Jacksonville an NBA city. And we can do it through the support of our fans, the sponsors, and of course the media. We need the media to help us out, get the word out there. We had an excellent marketing campaign last year, but we need the help of the media to do it. We need everybody to get out there and get the word. Bring an extra person with you to a game. Spread the word about Jacksonville being a 2-sport town. We can be an NFL town and an NBA town. A lot of towns are doing it, towns that don't have the number of people we've got in this city and our surrounding area. We can do it. You've got Oklahoma Thunder. They've got a basketball team and their market share is less than ours. And they lead the NBA or second or third in attendance. We can do it. We've supported the NFL in this town for 16 years. We can add one more team. And we can support 2 teams in this town. In addition to Christian Leitner, we've got back the core nucleus of our basketball team from last year. Several of those players are here today. We're glad to have them back again next year. Coach Waters has assured me next year is going to be this coming year is going to be better than the last. So again, no pressure, Coach. But we've also got several ABA All-Stars. We've got a young gentleman here, Soto. Arlington Country Day standout, former Florida State Seminole. And we've got a few others. We're still working on some. But several ABA All-Stars are going to be joining our team that came down last year for the All-Star game and said, I want to play there. Jaleel Nelson from the 7 City Knights. We're working on the ABA MVP also from New Jersey Express. He may be coming down. Texas Fuel, one of their All-Stars that played here in Jacksonville, is coming to join us, so we're going to have a great team. And all these guys are great character guys. I think that's about all I've got. I'm sure there'll be a few questions, but Joe Miller told me, Ron, just keep it simple, no long run-on sentences, all that stuff. I said, well, you know, that's how I am, so. Joe, are we answering questions now, or are we moving on with Coach?
We better move on with
All right, Coach, come on up.
Good afternoon, everyone. First, I'd like to acknowledge my coaching staff. Guys, please stand up for me. Coach David Graham, Coach Dante Hill, Coach Willie Palmer. In the audience, we also have 2 of my players. Antonio Lawrence, please stand, Antonio, and Bernardo Lawrence. Again, we thank y'all for y'all support last year. We saw the attendance grow at the end of the season there, so it was, Ron Sholes and Joe and myself paradigm to make sure that going into this 2011-2012 season that we fill those stands up, so we're going to need your help. And by doing so, I'd like to acknowledge Christian Leitner. Got to get you right, baby. Right. Now, but Chris is a great basketball player. His bio stands by itself. You know, again, he's a two-time national champion in college. He played on the original Dream Team, on Olympic team in 1992. He played in the NBA for 13 seasons. So, you know, he brings a wealth of knowledge to us, and we look forward to, you know, bringing it in, gathering it in, and getting prepared for this upcoming season. On the same lines, I'd like to acknowledge our new inductee into the team, Jose Soto. I'm going to allow Jose to get up here and say a few words, but he plays college ball at Florida State University. He's a great point guard, heady point guard. He gets others involved out there on the basketball court, and we know that we'll be a better team with him on the court. So without further ado, Jose Soto.
Thank you very much. First of all, I want to thank God for giving me this opportunity. I think it's a blessing to be here, to be with the basketball team, Jacksonville Giants. Thanks to my coaching staff, you know, they've been great to me. And you know, all I expect here is to make this team better, win a championship, which we fell short last year, but this year we're gonna bring it home. And to my teammates, you know, they're great teammates, and we're gonna make you guys proud. Thank you very much.